Thank you, Councillors, for this opportunity to speak today. My name is Reverend Stephen Milton, and I'm the lead minister of Lawrence Park Community Church in North York. We're a member of the United Church of Canada. In 2020, the city opened a new shelter in our neighborhood at Yonge and Eglinton, the Roehampton. Along with 7 other local churches, we decided to see what we could do to help. We attended monthly meetings with the shelter administrators, and we learned that when shelter staff found subsidized housing for residents, they faced a problem. The apartments were empty without any household necessities. So our churches decided to create welcome baskets overflowing with dishes and towels and pots and pans and sheets, everything a person would need in a new apartment if they were moving in. For a while, we were sending 15 welcome baskets a month to the shelter, and then it was 10, and then it was 5. Because it became so hard for the staff to find subsidized apartments for these residents. We've learned a lot over the past 3 years helping the shelter. We started out, naively I think, thinking that people ended up homeless due to some personal problem like addiction or mental health issues. But as we got to know the situation better, it became clear that our city doesn't just have a homeless problem, but instead it creates homeless people. Rising rents, apartments dedicated to short-term rentals like Airbnbs, empty condos meant for flipping, not people, families who kick their kids out when they come out as queer, people in prison who will be found innocent but can't make bail, so they end up spending months in jail and they lose their housing while awaiting trial. We learned that when people live on the streets, they may start off healthy, but their health quickly declines. Poor food, lack of health care, lack of dental care, poor sleep, and of course the disdain of society. All of this contributes to mental and health problems that they didn't have the day before they lost their housing. Being homeless is not a personal failing, but the failing of society to help people keep their housing. So we're glad to see that many parts of this budget are designed to help those who have precarious housing. We're encouraged to see more money being given to the shelter system and investments in affordable housing. We're also relieved that the warming centers promise to be open more often this year. But the fact is, it's still not enough. The budget is still dedicating way too much money to the police. Recent studies in Canada and the United States have found that increasing police budgets has no obvious effect on violent crime rates. They go up and down, and police budgets keep going up. The police are the lid on a boiling pot, but they don't have the power to turn down the heat. But we can, if we invest in better housing and more support for the poor. Our churches want to hand out more welcome baskets to people who have finally found a home again. If we really want to end encampments, let's divert funds from the police budget and invest it in mental health services, in housing subsidies, in addiction treatment and supports. Last week, the Ontario Human Rights Commission released a report detailing how the Toronto police are still discriminating against Black people, despite years of reports and demands that this practice stop. Funding should be related to performance. That's how it works in the business world. They have not earned a raise this year. Let's invest those funds in services for the people who really need it. Let Toronto show other cities that a smaller police budget can make the entire city safer, including for our most vulnerable citizens. In the gospel, Jesus Christ tells his followers, "I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in." Our society should be judged not on how well it treats its wealthiest residents, but how it treats its most vulnerable. Let's make this the year when thousands of people walk into new apartments and sleep on a bed that they can finally call their own. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions for the deputant? We can't top the way you wrapped your deputation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephen.